Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Thursday, October 10th, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. We have been really digging down into our minds. That's because Mercury and Saturn in Scorpio are still conjunct, and Saturn moves to 11 degrees today, which this is going to start to repeat or re-highlight a pattern. In February of 2013, we had Saturn here at 11 degrees and it went retrograde. So now Saturn is approaching its shadow position. It is actually going to move past this here in the coming week. So we are at this very important point of really understanding this deep energy inside of ourselves that we need to connect with, of our passions, of our fears, of the scary stuff, the skeletons in our closet, the things we don't want to expose. There's so many different aspects of Scorpio. It's always related with sex, death, taxes, the occult, the hidden stuff that's of your soul. And this is stuff that you personally usually have to go through in your own. Nobody can feel your own emotional energy unless you're going to have sex, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, I feel it. You know, I feel you, I feel this, you know. That's why this is such intimate space that we are highlighting, especially in our minds, in our emotions. And speaking of emotions, you know, Jupiter in Cancer, which is really pushing forward. Still, you know, can't believe it. The universe is still growing us, expanding us into new areas in our life, and it's going to really kick into overdrive here as this is the final degree here coming up here of Jupiter in Cancer. But what I really want to talk about today is the moon comes into Capricorn. And you know, that's a very unique energy, and we got to kind of follow the moon because Jupiter's expanding our emotions, and this moon energy is really doing a lot. It just went through Sagittarius and, you know, really wanted to explore and expand so much, yet Mercury and Saturn is highlighting all this work that has to be done, all these deep, intense energies that have to deal with our mind and all the hidden stuff in our life. But this moon in Capricorn really wants to ground us, yet it starts to get close to Pluto, which always adds an intensity to the emotion, and it starts to square Uranus, you know. And especially as we have all this Libra energy too, you know, it's interesting to see that this is triggering again this cardinal cross in the sky, which is, you know, taking new directions in our life, starting new things, building the right structure, stepping into our truth while having to create a new identity and to make sure our plans are together. And of course, you know, whenever the moon comes into Capricorn, it's all about plans. It's all about pushing through to the plans. All this Libra energy wants to stay weighing out everything and chill and balanced, and this forces us to really go into the structure of our lives if we're putting the work in and paying attention to the rules in our life, especially as it's connected with all this Saturn and Mercury and this North Node energy in Scorpio, as the moon's going to kind of tap into this later tonight as it approaches Pluto. This really starts to awaken how, you know, these plans in our life, the way that we structure our lives is going to be how we get into our truth. And it's going to take reinventing our identity and ourself to step into this. And going back to February, this is highlighting the deep stuff you've been working on that started in October of 2012 and it went to February 2013. And I guarantee you that this time around last year, as you started to come into this energy, that it was like, okay, what is this weird vibe? The truth is, Saturn came into Scorpio October 5th and 6th. We're now at October 10th. So it's been a year of Saturn in Scorpio. This is us highlighting these deep aspects. We can officially say we are deep in figuring out what the hell is going on in ourselves. We might not know exactly how to fix certain aspects of ourselves because Saturn is really trying to teach us to dig through, to really get to the bottom. And when you're digging up skeletons and stuff, you know, there's a lot of bones in there, right? When you think you figured out all the bones, you haven't. And so, you know, a lot of this is with the skeletons that you dig and all the things that you dig, you must make sure that you are paying attention to the structure, the plan, the way that you step into this plan is how your identity, is how your emotions, is how the whole entire picture of your harmony and balance will work out. Pluto is the position of power. Pluto is the position of transformation and change. And this is a Pluto direct energy now that started, you know, 3 weeks ago. And the moon's highlighting this all over again of destiny, of work. You know, it's very connected with Saturn at this 11 degrees. There's work, there's Mercury on top of this. It's not easy as yet. Venus in Sag really wants this, and there's fantasies we want, there's dreams we want to make real, but there's incredible amounts of truth we must seek inside ourselves. There's incredible amount of restructuring in our lives we must step into. There's incredible amount of courage that you must step into by reinventing yourself. And welcome to a new age where your comfort zones are going to fly into different proportions, and you're going to have to make a comfier bed than you ever have before in order to live into this truth. It's not easy. It's actually just your ability to trust that spirit has a reason for this, your ability to tune into the signs of where you must go, and the real test of how well you step into a new age is the backbone that you must remember that the universe is supporting you. It's not here to restructure your life and have you step into courage and have you step into your truth with screwing you over. You know, a lot of this is your reality is dictated by how you are reacting to events subconsciously and spiritually inside. And we are highlighting things that are in the dark about our subconscious selves, about our emotions that are rooted in all these weird energies. And these are what we're getting to the bottom of. Some of them are freaky as hell because they are fears. They are the dark side. But this is where the light comes, is exposing your fears, exposing your raw passion and truth. And if you want to connect to somebody with it, intimacy, trust, and sex is why it connects to this. Unless you're intimately all the way emotionally connecting, which is the very deep aspects of, sex, or there's tantra, or, you start to dig in these alternative connections. Rings on the finger and dinners out are not the same as sex or intimate meditation and tantra and all these crazy deep spiritual aspects of connection, which you must find in your partnerships now, and you must find in this to get the connection you actually desire and look for. And it's not wham bam thank you ma'am sex, because that's actually not sex. It's emotional and beautiful and passionate and connected energy, which must be found now to find if you want to have a connection to somebody now. And I'm not saying you have to have sex to do it. There might be some virgins out there, and I totally understand that. But a lot of this is that same energy, which takes the spiritual plunge into it all. And if you're lacking that in your partnerships, how is it going to grow? And that's why Neptune is squaring Venus. That's why there's all this Scorpio energy. That's what's the adjustment into a new and beautiful and dynamic, powerful individually, collectively, relationship-wise, new selves, which all force us to make sure we have the boarding tickets correctly into this new realm. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you have any questions or if you want to have a one-on-one reading. Thank you for all of your support, and I will see you for the weekend forecast tomorrow.